Hello, welcome back to China Driver. Today I'm extremely fortunate to be invited to the Hanteng factory, or Hanteng factory, where they've given me exclusive preview of the X5EV. This hasn't even come out on the market yet, and this is an EV which has a range of about 350 kilometers. So today we're going to test it on the factory test circuit just over there, and hopefully get to know this car in a bit more detail. So I'm sure, as some of you will probably let me know in the comments, that this is copying X design or another design, but I think at the end of the day this is a car that it's about the technology. So if the technology is right, the design will get there one day. And although this might not be the most original design, I don't think it looks too bad. It's got the LED headlights here, and this grille looks quite nice. A massive logo, not such a fan myself. But all in all, I think it's quite a well thought out design, and it's starting to copy less. But this car is starting to get a design language of its own in a very small way at the moment. So if we take a look at the boot space now, open that. Now this is actually quite heavy. When I closed it, it was heavy. In here, reasonable boot space, quite basic really back here, but you know, what more do you need? And obviously it's all covered up in this cloth at the moment. These are plastics down here. You know, your boot space isn't too bad. Here we go. If we close it, that is heavy. Oh, whether it's just the springs, I don't know. And then if we go into the interior, so here we go. Got your controls down here for all the windows and the door locks. And then I think you can see the materials that they've used inside here. Pardon my mess. But this one's got the brown. Just jump in. This one's got all the brown. This is the Sat-Nav System. Hopefully you can see that. So this is what I mean. It's actually quite small, isn't it? So probably one of the smaller ones I've seen. And then you've got some of your manual controls here, your air conditioning controls here, and then a bit further down. You've got your, there you go, your park, reverse, neutral drive, your parking brakes. Let's have a look at the screen here. So quite clear, not too cluttered, all mostly in English. I'm sure you can change some of what that says. I don't know why it's telling me revolutions per minute. It's a bit pointless. I don't really need that. And you've got your controls on the steering wheel, which is good size. Yeah, Hanteng horse logo there. So, you know, not too bad. And then if we look at the rear space, now if we look at the rear, so you've still got the covers on it here. Excuse my mess. It hasn't got the problem of a shallow space for your feet. It's actually quite deep. Seats support on here. It's a little bit hard if I was going to be critical, but it's okay in here. It's a little bit narrow as well. I don't think you could get 3 adults in here particularly successfully. Okay, so we're doing something I've never done before. We are here at a factory and we're testing a car which hasn't been released yet. This is the Hanteng, or Hanteng, and I'm about to go on the factory test circuit to test what this vehicle is like. So this is a SUV from Hanteng, which is a relatively new automotive company, and this is their SUV which has a range of 350 kilometers. So interestingly, I hadn't really heard of Hanteng before, and to be honest, completely honest, at the beginning I was a bit worried. I was thinking, oh, you know, what's this going to be like? Is it one of those not very good manufacturers? But so far I've been very impressed. Now we're going over some bumps to test out the suspension, and it's not particularly firm, but it does smooth it out and it's quite comfortable. Now we're going over these ones, which are very very bumpy. So this is the shakedown circuit next to the factory, dearie me. And they obviously drive all the cars down here after being built, just over there. And oh, it makes me feel a bit sick, to be honest. And this is the pothole section, so we're driving over this. Now everything on here is, again, it's very clear, and I really like how they've gone for quite a small screen over here. Most of the manufacturers at the moment are obsessed with bigger and better screens. This one's just a bit bigger than a phone. So interestingly, I can't give you the price because they haven't set the price yet. This is still in the at the end of its development stage, and they haven't released anything to do with the price. So I'd be interested to see, you know, if the range was 350k, or I imagine it might be slightly less or around that. So now we're going over another cobbled street section. It does glide over with ease, isn't it? No sound at all, no squeaking, absolutely nothing. And this is from a relatively new manufacturer. You can probably see out this window there's a you know, car park full of brand new SUVs ready to go out to customers. Now I would say the seat in here doesn't hug you very much. It's kind of a bit hard at the back. And I would say the pedal placement, it's all shifted over to one side, which is a bit odd. So everything, I would expect it to be a bit more spread out, but it's fine really. All the controls down here are actually in English, which is interesting. All of my display on here is also in English, and it's not showing me at the moment kilometers an hour very clearly. It's showing me my revolutions, so how many revs I'm doing, if that is a thing. So now we're about to go onto the fast bit where we can hopefully get up some speed and then test out the braking, and all my bag in the back will go flying off the back seat. So this car does actually have quite a good look about it. I was looking online beforehand and I was like, not really sure about that, but looking at this car, it looks very clean and very modern. It's a little bit fussy in terms of design, but you know, I can live with that. Now this is the bit just before the fast straight where he's told me I can go 110 kilometers an hour. Doesn't seem that fast, but this is quite a narrow road, so let's get ready to give it the beans and go. Off we go. Then we go to 80, 100, and then we're at 110. Oh, there's a bird there. That was not good. So it's very stable at this high speed, which is, I suppose, motorway speed. And this is the braking section. So we test out the braking. Very good. I don't know if there's curves in this. It didn't feel like there was. If you speed up and slow, no, there's no curves, but it's been turned off. And then another bumpy bit. And then we're going to go over a ramp. So I would wonder what this would be like offline. I think off-road. I think it's more of a soft roader, to be honest. And then we're going to go to the car park and do a figure of 8 to test out the steering and the handling, which, you know, it's not pin sharp. It's quite a big lumbering SUV, but you know, here we go. Oh, the bit skid there. That wasn't going to happen. They're all watching me from the factory over there, thinking, what is he doing? So it's a little bit woolly, I'd say, in the corners. It's, oh, there you go. So, you know, you're not going to go racing on this, and I wouldn't feel that confident going around corners in it. But, you know, in terms of a general SUV, which you're probably going to use around town, you know, driving around, you know, from Sainsbury's to Tesco's or whatever, you know, it's fine. So interestingly, we're actually going to go into the factory now. So hopefully you can actually see a proper factory out the window. This is always fascinating. I love factories, especially factories which are like, oh, I've just turned on the windscreen wipers. The workers are over there having a lunchtime nap. It's a spotless factory, absolutely, completely clean. And they've got all the models out here. Oh, they're all asleep. They're all asleep over there on the table. And obviously, I'm stealthily moving past in the electric car. So I've just come at lunchtime. Just had lunch in the workers' canteen, which was good. And yeah, that's the inspection station over there. So you've got all the lights. You might be able to see down there. Yeah, so an interesting car, and one which I was unexpectedly surprised by, I suppose. I really wasn't expecting, you know, anything worth writing home about, but you know, in actual fact, it's quite well put together. It's nicely made. All of this seems generally quite good quality, and this is all stitched leather again. No rattles or bumpy bits. It's good. It's very good. I'm mighty impressed. Right, so going to go around once more because they've let me, so it's very kind of them. Now we're doing the speed bit, so let's put it down. It's not as responsive, and now my foot is flat down. It's not as responsive as some of the other cars, and it's a little bit slower to 100. That's 120. Now let's try the braking. I mean, that's good. That's what you would expect, really. The brakes do work. So thank you for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this one. It's been great to actually get out of Shanghai and finally visit my first EV car factory. If you want to find out more, subscribe, and I'll try and get some more videos out soon. Thank you.